Someone have a calculator? Because I dropped it.
I mean, it's hard. You know, you leave your family, you leave everything behind, you leave everyone you know. You come here, obviously you have your teammates, like they're supposed to be like your brothers, but you know, your family's your family, you're gonna miss them. So you kind of sacrifice a lot, you know, to chase the dream, and that kind of adds the pressure on to make every day worth it.
It was tough at the start, but I'm kind of used to it now. You know, obviously not being around my family and stuff is obviously a bit tough, but you know, getting to do what I want to do in my life is obviously very important, and as long as I have their support, it's been easy.
It doesn't really get to you. It's kind of just like we're used to it. You know, that's the main part of being a COD pro, is adapting and just like figuring the new stuff out and mastering whatever it is. That's like a talent you built over the years of competing. So it doesn't really affect us like that.
I feel like some days we definitely practice too much. You know, so sometimes, you know, the season can get a little hectic and stressful, especially if you're a team that, you know, has a split where you don't do too well. So then you have a lot of pressure for the next one. So then you tend to have to play a lot more to like catch up and sort of, you know, make up for the bad split you had. So it can be definitely stressful sometimes.
I try to focus on more the mental aspect of it than necessarily how I use my thumbs. I know that I can use it to the best of my ability regardless of what happens.
I mean, like, what do you mean by the mental? Like, how do you guys take care of that potential for burnout, or even if you're feeling burnout? Because like, from my point of view, like, you know, there are strategies that we can put in place to just like take care of ourselves, make sure we're getting the right rest and recovery, and just making sure our mind is still on point even when we feel like we're tired and like we're going through this and it feels monotonous and it's like a long season. Are there things that you guys actually do to make sure you can handle that?
I mean, for me specifically, just like when we have days off or we go out for like team outings or playing basketball or just chilling or whatever, getting to reset and disconnect, not really just not think about the game for a little bit, that for me does the trick.
He's a little bit different. He's a little bit different. His brain is wired a bit differently than, let's say, compared to me and AG over here. He loves it. He loves it, man. Like, he loves the grind, and he loves being a student of the game, and you know, like that's always good to have that kind of like perspective around you. But at least for me, like I said, it's just the mental aspect of it, the routine. You know, manage your stress. You know, health as well. So you just got to know your body and what you can take and what you can handle. And you know, if you feel yourself, you know, getting too much of an overload, then you gotta back off a little bit and go back to what actually, you know, can, you know, manage yourself, like such as working out or going out with friends, or just, you know, like you said, disconnecting.
From a burnout perspective, I see it as like, the way I look at it is like, you take care of your physical, you take care of your emotional, you take care of your mental, and like that's all, like those are 3 different capacities you have. So like physical is like, make sure you're on top of your sleep or like recovering or whatever. And then the mental is like, do you have other things that you can do that allow you to like be present, right? And get out of your own head. And maybe that's again, like activities you got. Maybe you can like play other games, right? Just like stay fresh so you're not playing COD the whole time. Whatever, anything else that can just like keep you present, because a lot of the stresses and like feelings of burnout, I think, comes from like paying too much attention to things to come, or like dwelling too much on things from the past. Like that causes a lot of stress. So
I think a good way to prevent burnout is just recognize the personalities you have on your team and the personnel you have on your team. Like, I think that's a good way to handle burnout, is just recognize the personalities you have on your team and kind of play around that as much as you can. If you're grinding the way you're supposed to grind, then they're keeping up with you. Like, if you work smarter and not harder, and you do what you're supposed to do every day, at least the vast majority of the days, like Lamar's made a good point before, like the greatest teams are gonna have the fewest bad days. So if you come in and you're grinding your ass off every day and working hard, you're not gonna have to worry about catching up to other teams, because you're gonna constantly be at the level you're supposed to be at.
Only when we travel to places that suck. But yeah, that's just the only time that it sucks. Besides that, it's cool.
And when you don't get your bags for a couple of days.
99% of the general population doesn't even understand the game. They don't understand the nuances and the micro behind the scenes either if they don't understand the macro.
I mean, to be fair, we are living the dream. You know, we're all super grateful for that. It's a crazy opportunity to play video games for a living, and you know, it is a dream life and a dream world. But because of that, you don't really get that I guess leeway or whatever it is to what it takes to achieve that dream and like all the work you have to put into it, you know? But I mean, no complaints, it is what it is. We chose the path, you know, you're gonna do the grind and you're gonna do what it takes.
Let me do the math in my head. So we're scrimming 6 days a week. It's like 8 hours a day, 7 hours. Someone have a calculator? Because I dropped it. So.
It's like four. It's
I
like
don't know my times tables like that.
And then like outside of that too, right? Like outside of scrims, you're putting in the work too.
Yeah.
So like
It's more than just the basic scrim hours.
I also definitely think you can compare it to other sports as well. Like, so just like NBA, when you watch the NBA, you can critique them all you want, but it looks like, yeah, you could just pass it there. But I mean, these guys are NBA players, you know, if they wanted to make the best decision possible for them to win, don't you think they would have made it? It was the same thing in COD. Like, people say, oh, like, why didn't he take this? Why didn't he do this? Or why didn't he do that? I mean, if he wanted to, he wants to win. Every player that's playing wants to win. If they knew that they could do that in that moment, then 100% they would. But it's a lot harder than it seems. And I think a lot of people definitely don't comprehend with that.